Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Bravado Dorado Cruiser in Grand Theft Auto Online. This thing is really sick looking. I actually can't wait to customize this. I am customizing all the vehicles and going over everything to do with the DLC today, so if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I'm also trying to hit 300,000 subs this year, so if you want to help me out with that, I would appreciate it a lot. Let's see what we can actually do to the Bravado Dorado Cruiser. Alrighty, so here we are customizing this thing. We can go ahead and start off with the arch covers, which is a good upgrade to have for this. You can make them carbon, which is really weird. You can also go for the primary street arch covers, which are a little bit wider, and you can go for secondary or carbon and a bunch of other stuff. I'm not a big fan of it. I think I'm actually going to keep the stock arches because I just don't like I don't see the point in expanding the arches out to the side if the wheels aren't going to go too, so I'm going to just avoid that entirely. We will go all the way up on the armor though, and the brakes, we're going to go all the way up on those as well. For the front bumpers, we do have quite a few different options here. It seems like we actually have a lot of the regular Bravado Dorado options, which is kind of cool to, you know, see those on the vehicle. I think that I'm going to go for the primary street bumper for today, and for the rear bumper, I'd like something a little bit more, aggressive. Maybe the primary reinforced bumper. That seems cool. Let's go ahead and do that. Engine level 4, we're going to go all the way up on that, of course. For the exhaust, I think that I will just do the twin exhausts. I think that those are kind of, you know, good enough looking, so we'll do those. For the front fenders, we can go for those in secondary if we want to. Kind of cool looking. I think I prefer it in the primary color, so we'll just leave that alone. For the grille on this thing, we can go for the primary stock grille. I do actually like the look of that a lot, so I'm going to probably go for that option, but we will scroll through here and just see the rest of them. Yeah, no, I'm going to keep it primary stock for sure. For the hood, we can go secondary stock as well. We can also go for a smoothed hood. We got the twin intakes there, which is kind of a cool option to have. We also have the ridge hood, which is kind of neat too, as well as the aggressor hood and the twin inlet hood as well. Honestly, I feel like the twin inlet hood is kind of cool for this thing. I feel like it's not too aggressive, so I'm gonna go for that. We're gonna go for the xenon lights on this thing as well. For the livery, we have a lot of different ones that we can actually go for here. If I can find something that's like sort of off-roady themed, I would totally go for it, except I don't think that I can. So maybe we will go for the Los Santos County Sheriff. I think that is a really cool one. Definitely not going to go highway patrol on this thing because it's just too slow, I feel like, so there's not much point in that. For the bull bars, we will definitely be going for some. Let's see which one we actually want to go for. Probably the reinforced bull bar 2 with fogs, or just 2. I think this one actually. I think I kind of like that one better. This one's like a little... It's just a little too aggressive for me. I think that's okay though. Emergency lighting, we got number 1, we got number 2, and of course we have number 3. Number 3 is one that you don't really see very often. I do kind of like the look of number 2 because I, again, like that detail like I was talking about in the Greenwood Cruiser customization. But this one, I feel like just fits this vehicle a lot better, so I'm actually going to leave that alone. For the searchlights, I'm going to go for the raised dual. I like that look, so we'll do that. For the respray, like, I hate to be boring, but like I really like how this looks. I think it is a very good look for this vehicle. The only thing that I could maybe do is like go for in it like maybe like a dark blue of some sort, like a galaxy blue maybe, for both the primary and the secondary. Let's see how it looks. I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to go for it. I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of like almost an undercover look for the car, but I just don't think it just doesn't really beat like the stock look of the car. I feel like it just looks so good in that black and that white. So I'm going to just go back to stock, to be honest, because I just think it looks way better. So we'll go black and white because it just looks cool. So we'll do that. For the skirts, we got the arch steps here that we can go ahead and do. Just don't know which one I want to go for. I'm kind of almost thinking of the plastic side steps or something like that. Stuff like that's kind of cool. Maybe just the street steps. Primary street steps, they seem okay, so we'll do that. Could also go for a little spoiler option on this thing so it gets a little bit more traction. I will do that in the secondary color just because well, it kind of blends in better and you can't really notice that it's there. So I kind of like that. Actually, we could go for the large aero spoiler, except no, I kind of like the one I picked. I think it's better. For the suspension, I'm going to keep it raised because going off-road and stuff, probably going to want raised suspension. We got the race transmission on here as well, turbo tuning. Let's go ahead and throw that on. For the wheels, we can definitely go for some off-road wheels, which look really good on this thing. I kind of want to go for like some police issue steelies. Perfect. That's exactly what we need. That's awesome. Okay, we'll go for those. We'll do them in a black, I think. Yeah, I think black looks good on that. Bulletproof the tires for sure. Tire design, no. Not going to go for that. For the windows, I will go ahead and do a light smoke on those as well, I think. I think that looks pretty good. So that is all the customization that we can do. Let's head outside. We're going to do a sound test and a full review on this vehicle, of course. So let's take a listen. So you can't really hear too much of the car. It almost seems like all that noise is coming from the front of the vehicle, which that's fine. I guess it makes sense. That's where the engine is. The Dorado really reminds me of like a GTA 4 car. With how the suspension kind of is and everything, like it's very bouncy feeling and stuff like that. So that's something to note, I guess, about this vehicle. We will turn these sirens on quickly and see how they perform. It does seem to make everybody pull over, which is good. That is pretty cool. I already have a headlight out, which is kind of annoying, so that does suck. But let's do a little tiny bit of an off-road test here before we get back onto the customization circuit. This thing seems to make, you know, relatively quick work of off-road, so that is good. The regular Dorado is quite good off-road, so you know this thing is as well. Of course, this is in the emergency category, so you won't be able to race this in those off-road category races, unfortunately. In fact, this thing is like actually not even really raceable, which does kind of suck. But you know, it is what it is. I think as an off-road police vehicle, which we don't really have yet in GTA Online, I mean, we did get the Granger 3500 LX, I guess it was, but it was like the Park Ranger variant of it sort of thing. I guess that's like kind of off-road-ish, but I feel like the Dorado is truly the first like off-road capable police car we've gotten, and I think it's actually quite fitting. I would have rather seen, you know, something else instead of this, maybe even a modern Durango, and then maybe they could have doubled it and just made it like the Durango SRT or the Durango Hellcat. That would have been really cool too. But you know what? This thing's okay. It does the job for sure. I think it's going to be a really fun vehicle to use in our Manhunt series that we do. So I'm definitely really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be an awesome car for that sort of thing. As far as the handling goes, it's actually quite good. This thing is all-wheel drive, of course, so it is going to have a bit of an advantage off the line traction-wise and obviously off-road and everything like that. But through the corners and stuff, it also helps as well. So definitely a pretty capable vehicle overall, I would say. Let's quickly go off-road right here and just see how it kind of handles the bumps and the rougher terrain. I have a feeling it's going to do just fine because it's a Dorado, and it's, you know, vehicles in GTA don't really seem to suffer that much off-road, and it is all-wheel drive, so it's basically, yeah, it's going to be good to go. Yeah, it's a very decent car. I like the performance of it. The acceleration is decent. Top speed is probably about the same as the regular Dorado, which is not very great, but you know, it is in the emergency category, so you can't even race it anyway, so it's really just about the free mode performance. And as a police car to maybe chase around your friends or role play or stuff like that, I think it's going to be a fine car for most people. Now the question is, should you buy it? And if you got $5 million bucks for the non-trade price and like 3.8 million or so for the trade price, maybe you want it. I can't necessarily recommend it. I don't think that it's going to be useful necessarily, but it does grant you access to dispatch missions from Vincent, so that is pretty cool. But Yeah, I mean, you don't really, I don't know, you don't need to do those, you know what I mean? So it's a very cool vehicle. I really like it. I'm going to use it a lot. I can't say the same for everybody for sure. So just be aware it's not going to, you know, blow your socks off or anything like that. Like, it's not stupid fast or anything, you know, too crazy. It just is basically a Dorado with lights and sirens at the end of the day for $5 million. If it's worth it to you, pick it up. If not, well, don't trip about it, that's for sure. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching my Bravado Dorado Cruiser. Yeah, Cruiser customization and review in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you guys enjoyed the video, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Peace.